It's been an exciting new year, and we're still excited. So this is wonderful that you're all here. And again, I look forward to the real life in real time, real treats. Thank you. So Region 4 is full of just very busy, hardworking people. And it's an honor and a pleasure to sort of be the MC and review all the great stuff that they've been up to and that they continue to do. So I'm wondering, Robin, can I share my screen? Yeah. All right. Well, okay. All right. Sorry, you guys, I just got to get a little.
That's okay.
If I didn't fumble, you would think it wasn't me, right? you think it was somebody else. Okay. So Region 4, we are the busy bees, and that is indeed true. A very, very hardworking bunch of people. So very exciting, and I'm just going to sort of talk us through the year, but then I'm going to be moving the slides, and everybody else is going to be talking. So the first thing that they did as a group, Region 4, is had a series of meetings. And Janet, I'm wondering if you're here and you want to give us some, just sort of share some information about those meetings, the regional meetings that happened. Janet Stewart was one of the people who worked very hard on this event. So I'm wondering if Janet, if you're here. Okay, well, Region 4 was so dedicated that they didn't just do one meeting, they did 3. And the basic topics really were to encourage families and people with disabilities who were seeking jobs in their region to come together and get some basic information to encourage people that going to work was to promote the idea of going to work, give people more information about supported employment and customized employment, and to give it from a lot of different vantage points. So of course, and again, this is a group of very high achievers. So they didn't just have one speaker or one training, they had 3. And at each training, they had, 3 different they had 3 speakers. They had, as you can see, a work incentives navigator, Tanya Hawkins, Sherry Plenge from DBHD, who was an intake coordinator, and Sandra Hudson from Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation, who all talked and gave information about how the system works, how people could access employment, and what they could expect following through. And again, each meeting was a hosted lunch. So it wasn't just come to a meeting, it was come to a meeting, get together, share some time, share food, and get information. So we had meeting number 1 in Thomasville, Georgia. The second meeting had, and again, another systems navigator and Sherry Plenge, and also was held in Tifton. So again, it was that idea that, people could work and sharing that information. And again, what I want to say is that the people that you see here, these are the speakers, but many people locally worked hard behind the scenes to get this to come about. So I want to add that too. So you just see the tip of the iceberg. These are the people that talked at the meetings. And each meeting was held, had about 25 to 30 people that came, which was also really exciting. So getting the word out. And again, this is as late as, December 2019 seems like a long time ago. And it was, but this is as late as close to the end of last year. Not even a month ago. It's amazing. Okay, so we had another meeting, on December 5th, and held that one in Albany. This one was, so again, behind the scenes, there were lots of people that worked really hard. Janet Stewart, Vertus Dudley, Melissa Rutland, people, and many other people. So if I'm not mentioning you, I want to know, just to let everybody know that this was a large regional effort. People had to work very hard to get people to come, to develop the flyer, to get the word out, to find a place and a location, and to spread the word. And then this is a short slide on what people have been doing this whole year, because it's been, again, as everyone says, unprecedented. It's a word we're going to be glad to put to rest. We want to have, but people agencies spent time in terms of increasing their learning, getting certified and through ACRE, collaborating, working with each other, and also meeting all the challenges of 2019 with great innovation, because all the agencies across that region still kept people going to work as well as starting to go to work, which meant that they had to really think very carefully about how to keep people safe, about how to access non-existent transportation, to change some of the ways that they were doing job coaching and the way that they were interfacing with employers. And they did so, cheerfully, responsibly, and with great innovation. So with that, I'm going to ask Vertus Dudley to share. I'm going to back up. So Vertus, I'm going to ask you to share your part in terms of sharing a success story. Vertus Dudley has just been a great regional supporter and leader, and wants to share a success story about Alzo Harvey V, which I know it's your story, but I had to say the name because one doesn't often meet the fifth of somebody, of a generation. So I wanted to note that. So Vertus, it's if you talk, I will move the slides.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. Alzo Harvey V. Let's talk about Alzo Harvey. Let's go to the next screen. This is Alzo. He's a great Falcon fan, and he likes the Georgia Bulldogs, but guess what? I'm Alabama all day. Roll Tides, 17th. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Alzo was referred from the Georgia Department of Vocational Rehabilitation to Easter Seal. Next one. Who is Alzo? He's a 22-year-old male. He has an intellectual and developmental disability. He was raised by a single parent. He was the brother of, he has a brother, which is Alzo IV, and a sister, Nakilia, and Alzo's mother, Tammy, which is very supportive. Alzo was referred from GBRA for traditional supported employment. He was really hesitant. Alzo was like, I don't know if I can work. I don't know if I can work. But I'm like this. Every applicant that I do, I have to show them the little red engine that could. Because if you think you can do it, you can do it. They laugh at me at the office and say, Vertus, why are you always playing that? I say, yeah. I say, we have to do that. I say, because we have to let them know they can do anything. The sky is the limit. For everyone that has met me basically knows I don't have boundaries. I need to learn boundaries, but I don't have any boundaries when it come to our people working. Alzo had only worked at Goodwill. He did a work adjustment training. He said, well, Miss Vertus, I know how to make boxes. Let's go to the next slide. Because you can actually read it. Go to the next one, Deborah. Every time I actually meet with the client, I basically want to know and teach them job readiness skills. Because if I tell people, you can get anybody a job, but the important thing is they know and having the proper tools in order to keep that job. And so therefore we work with people here at Easter Seal and teach them job readiness skills. Next slide. Then we actually develop a resume. And these are some of the characteristics that Alzo had. He was punctual. He always had a positive attitude. He was an active listener. He was a great team player. Whatever Miss Dudley and Miss Kim and Miss Brooke had to say, he was always very supportive. And he was safety conscious. He always made sure that he was clean, he was presentable, he had good hygiene, everything. And this is very important when you're working with your individuals. Next slide, Deborah. Okay, we talked about can you do, Alzo? He said, I enjoy cleaning and I enjoy making boxes. I said, where did you make boxes? He said, I made boxes at Goodwill. He said, I want a job making boxes. I said, okay, that's great. We'll try to. I said, where you want to make boxes at? He said, Pizza Hut, maybe Papa John's. Okay. He said, I enjoy cleaning too. He said, I worked at the school when I was in class. They used to have me moving dexes and sweeping the halls, mopping the halls. I said, okay, those are actually skills, Alzo. So let's go and try to work on those skills. Next slide. So Alzo, for several months, we actually put in applications. He did not get a job. So he started to get discouraged. And I told him, Alzo, remember the little red engine that could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And you will work. Next slide. We went to several job interviews. Okay. This is what we did. We went to Pizza Hut. The first interview that was scheduled, the manager had the flu. The next week, we went to the job interview. The manager had the flu. And she called me on the phone. She said, well, okay, Miss Dudley, I'll meet you. I told Alzo, I said, listen, 3 strikes are out in any ball game. This does not show. I said, everybody need a backup plan. So let's try somewhere else. So we went to Papa John's. They didn't make an offer. So the manager at PowerWorks called. He said, Miss Dudley, you got anybody that's dependable, want to work? I said, I got the right person for you. I said, he's always on time. He has a background in cleaning. So guess what? I bring him out there. He said, well, put the resume in. I said, okay, I put the resume in and fill out an application. Okay, I was at the base in the parking lot. Alzo called me. He said, Miss Dudley, I can't make my job interview. I said, you can't make your job interview. I said, as long as we've been looking for a job and you can't make that job interview. We have a strict policy on no transport. Do not transport the individuals in your personal vehicle. I got on the phone. Vertus, if it's a way, there's a will. So I got on the phone, called my director. I say, he has to go to this interview. Can I please pick him up and put him in my car? Picked him up, put him in my car. He received a job offer on the spot. Next slide. Job offer, yes. Manager said, I want him. He has a great personality and he's motivated. Okay. So next slide. We had a background check. He had to go actually for a background check. With the background check for the base, you have to go through a federal background check. So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to actually get approved. He kind of got discouraged. Ms. Vertis, I hadn't heard anything from my background. I said, Alzo, listen, patience, patience, patience. We're going to get this job. I said, and you're going to start to work. So I was excited. I got a next slide. On the first day, oh my, I couldn't go the first day. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? So therefore, before any of my individuals start, I always go in myself and develop natural supports. Because you know what? I don't want people trying to identify me or signify me, basically saying that, hey, this person disabled. No, this person not disabled. This person is an individual that worked just like you. So therefore, if you develop natural supports on the job, then guess what? The adjustment is much easier than a job coach being there. So I couldn't be there. I had to be at a WISE training. I told Deborah, I said, Deborah, I've been advocating for this guy a job, and I can't even be at the first day. She was like, okay. So Deborah tell you I was up there at job development card, and I was checking my phone, and he was steady texting me when he got off from work that day at 1. He said, I had a great day. I did everything with orientation. They helped me with the computer. They did this, they did that. I said, oh, awesome. Next slide. This Alzo's first day. He sent me a picture. Next slide. Alzo actually completed the first day. He finished his certification for blood pathogens, and he got certified for carpet cleaning. I was so proud of him. His orientation was a success. Next slide. All right. He started February the 11th. February the 11th. All right, here come COVID. He called me. He said, Miss Furtis, they told us we couldn't come to work. I say, well, you know what, Alzo? I say, I can't go to work either. I say, COVID, everybody got to take the proper precautions. So guess what I did? I was on the computer, wising out this great tip sheet for COVID. So I sent all my individuals that tip sheet. And he was out of work only 3 days because by him being an essential employee, he had to return back because they had to make sure that everything was sanitized and clean so that the base employees could return. Next slide, please. This is Alzo. COVID ready, work ready. In his backpack, he got his sanitizer. I mean, to the point, Alzo actually brought me some Microban. He said, Miss Virgin, I said, no, I got to pay you for the Microban. But he had the Microban, the sanitizer, and everything. And every week, his mom makes sure he has all the essential PPE, making sure that he's safe. And he is safe. Next slide. At the base, they actually go through for inspections. They have what is called Cleantelligence inspections. Alzo actually received, matter of fact, as of last week, he had a 97% on his Cleantelligence inspection. Go Alzo, I told him I'm proud of him. And by him actually receiving 85 or better consistently, the managers got together and they actually purchased him this book bag that you see. This is his Atlanta Falcon book bag. That was his incentive. Next one. This is Alzo. He is always happy. He always got that smile. Don't you just love Alzo's smile? Thank y'all for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you. Great story. The next story. Oh.
Kudos, Alzo. I forgot one thing. Yeah. Let me tell you this. You see where it's money, savings, smart buy? Alzo saves his money. He say, Miss Dudley, he say, you know what? I'm going to get off of SSI one day because guess what? I'm having me enough money and I'm going to do something else. I'm not just going to be a contractor. I'm going to be a civilian employee. I say, all right, Alzo.
That's awesome.
He's a contractor now, but he's going to eventually be a civilian employee.
Thank you. Great story.
And thank y'all.
The next person we're going to have talk is Melissa Rutland. Melissa, you're there? I think I saw you earlier.
Yeah, I'm here. I think we'll just go to the pictures and I'll just go to the next one and I'll just tell Brittany's story if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
This is Brittany, and we were going to tell about someone that was considered an essential worker during the pandemic. And Brittany works at the local hospital here in Tifton. And she is an essential worker. So she was not out anytime during this past 9 months. And one of the things that was kind of challenging for Brittany was not so much her job, it was a family issue with helping her family be comfortable with her working in a hospital setting during this trying time and not being exposed. And so we had to work really closely with the hospital and her family to help them understand that she was given all the PPEs and, you know, all the precautions were being taken to keep her healthy and safe, as well as the patients of the hospital. And we kind of supported Brittany and her family to go through a little bit of extra training about PPEs and different things that they were doing in the hospital as far as making sure that all their staff were staying safe. Brittany's a unique story in the fact that she started out working a part-time job when she first started working, and she was very isolated. She did not like the job because she was completely isolated from any other people throughout her whole workday. And so we worked with her to develop a job at the hospital, and she's been working there now since 2011. So she's a long-term employee, and she's full-time with benefits. The past year, she decided she wanted to work full-time, so now she's working full-time with benefits, and she's completely independent. She does really, really good at the hospital. She enjoys her job. She enjoys interacting with the patients, and she's a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? My mind just went blank. She's a very good employee, and the hospital has worked closely with us to keep Brittany employed. So that's Brittany's story, essential worker.
Do you want to sort of tell a little bit about these pictures and the kinds of work she does?
This is what she does. Tiff Regional Hospital does a la carte services. So that means that anything that you order from the cafeteria for any patient's room is guaranteed to be delivered hot to the patient. And so each person that leaves the cafeteria or the kitchen with food, you have 8 minutes to go anywhere in the hospital and deliver and be back. So it's time to delivery. The top left-hand corner is her signing out whenever she's fixing to take her cart. They have to sign out. And then the bottom kind of left hand towards the center is her leaving with the little timer. I don't know if you can see it on the cart that's timing her for hot meal delivery. And then on the right center is where she's helping to prepare trays and getting them ready in case in between delivering meals, because they have to have I believe the cart holds 10 meals, so they deliver 10 at a time, and they have to have 8 to deliver and be back within 8 minutes. So yeah, it's pretty speedy. You got to know your way around the hospital and get it done and get back. So
wow. All right. Well, thank you very much. That was also a wonderful story. And again, this is the tip of the iceberg for Region 4. They've been doing great work. So in terms of the coming year, people are hoping, we sort of just begun to sort of pick up there was sort of the pieces of people getting back together and working together. What's next? We're thinking about, people are thinking about getting more education and tools so that they can do a better job in getting more people into jobs. So that's kind of the goal, and to keep going in that same direction and to increase our success. So thank you all very much, Region 4. And thanks so much for your wonderful stories and great work.